4 legs to and from Florida so that we can play 13 shows over the course of a week at Busch Gardens. And while I'm there, I get to fly one of the greatest airplanes ever built. It's another jam-packed episode of Life in the Fast Lane. I'm John Weisswasser, pilot and drummer for Eaglemania. Follow me as I explore the practical use of general aviation while I travel the country with the world's greatest tribute to the Eagles. This is Life in the Fast Lane. This is becoming a yearly tradition for Eaglemania, a one-week appearance at the Stanleyville Theater in Busch Gardens, Tampa. We did this last February and it was awesome. The schedule is unusual. 2 shows a day, each one 45 minutes. The first at 11:30 in the morning and the last at 1:30 in the afternoon. Plus, a big outdoor show at their Food and Wine Fest on the Friday night of that week. For this, they wanted us in position for a sound check at 6:30 the night before the first show. Given that it was February and this was a long cross-country trip, the contingencies for blizzards or other really adverse weather revolved around having flexibility on either end of the schedule. So, I cleared out my calendar for a good 24 to 48 hours on either side of this trip in case we needed to dodge weather. The question of which airport to use in Tampa was relatively straightforward, the choice being between Tampa International, which I used last year, or the smaller but equally served Tampa Executive. Tampa Executive is actually closer to the venue by about 10 minutes, had cheaper fuel, and is served by good approaches, so that was what I opted for this year. So for me, the first question becomes whether I can make the trip in one shot. From New Jersey, Tampa Exec is 867 nautical miles away, and with a no-wind scenario would take about 3 hours and 50 minutes in the Meridian and consume about 1,025 pounds of fuel. The Meridian holds 1,140 pounds of fuel, and unless there were some really unusual miracle winds aloft the day of the departure, I would definitely be needing a fuel stop. For this calculation, I used Jet Fuel X, a satellite service of ForeFlight. Basically, I put the direct route in and find something in the middle that is cheap. Obviously, airport services, location, and weather all play a role in the end, but as a cursory outlook plan, this approach works for me and is generally what I end up using. In this case, Raleigh-Durham was where I was going to go, and I've used it before and have been very happy with it. So, the broad outline of the trip would start with a leg from Caldwell, New Jersey to Raleigh, North Carolina, 367 nautical miles, 542 pounds of fuel, and a 1 hour 47 minute trip. The next leg from Raleigh to Tampa would be 505 nautical miles, 683 pounds of fuel, and 2 hours and 26 minutes. Both legs had comfortable fuel margins and weren't too long time-wise. Looking at the outlook the days before on Windy TV with attention to Sunday and Monday, there was a low-pressure area over the southern plains that would be bringing some weather to the area, but nothing preclusive. Looking at the return a week later, there was a significant low that I needed to keep an eye on which could affect the return. Briefing the first leg to Raleigh on Monday morning, with an eye towards the next leg to Tampa, a look at the METARs revealed clear skies at Caldwell and an overcast layer at Raleigh at 9,500 feet with good visibilities. The forecast for New Jersey was for VFR throughout the day. Raleigh was forecasted to deteriorate to IFR conditions by evening, and Tampa was expected to stay VFR all day. The weather in Raleigh was due to the same low-pressure area over Missouri, which was bringing moist Gulf air up to the Carolinas and which had draped a mixed frontal boundary along the Georgia coast. The icing forecast called for some light to moderate icing potential in the teens, primarily over the Carolinas, and some light turbulence in the same. Using the Graphical TAF feature of the ADDS website, I was able to see that the bulk of the IMC conditions was going to stay well off to the west of my route as well as my fuel stop over the course of the day. And finally, the NEXRAD loop showed light precipitation moving into the area. I knew that the surface temperatures were well above freezing and that the potential for icing was only in the teens, which meant I only had to descend to get out of it or climb above it on my way out of Raleigh. And finally, since I was flying to Florida after all, it was worth looking at the convective outlook even though it was February. This demonstrated some very marginal potential, and in light of everything else, I was less concerned.
929 Delta Alpha is cleared to Raleigh beyond departure, left turn heading 180, radar vectors Lana, Jet 48, Mike Oscar Lima, direct Romeo Oscar Alpha, direct 2000, 280 10, 119.2, 16749 Delta Alpha. And I'll let you know when we're ready to taxi with the Coronadus.
9 Delta Alpha, roger, thank you.
Great.
Transport, transit to call fast Delta is approved, altimeter 3007.
Engine start was uneventful, and fortunately it was a very short hold for release.
2, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 22, 9 Delta Alpha.
Cessna 7 Delta Mike number 2, phone test 204, runway 22, clear touch and go. Runway 22, clear touch and go. 9 Delta Alpha, you can contact near departure 192, safe flight.
Okay, departure so long, 9 Delta Alpha. Next departure Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is 1000, climbing 2000, turning left 180.
Over 929 Delta Alpha, near departure, climb maintain 6000 and ident.
6000, 9 Delta Alpha.
For 929 Delta Alpha, your radar contact leaving 1,300.
9 Delta Alpha.
Over 929 Delta Alpha, climb maintain 1010,000.
10,000, 9 Delta Alpha.
Endeavor 4996, you can roll out heading 360, climb to 1010,000. Over 929 Delta Alpha, best rate of climb 37, please.
You're looking at our best, 9 Delta Alpha.
Fantastic, thank you.
All right, well, we're at 28,000 feet. 226 knots on the ground and 273 knots in the air. This is our routing.
Zero Mike Hotel, climb maintain 340.
It's a little less than ideal.
340, Zero Mike Hotel.
It takes us, I filed for direct, and they gave, because there were so many different routes, they gave us, we have to fly to Roanoke and then make this left. So I'm hoping that when we get down to Casanova, I'll ask for direct our destination, and maybe that'll shave some time off. At our current rate, we should be there by 20 to 12, which I think means that we'll be in Tampa at around 3:30. And the weather right now in Raleigh is winds are light rain, 5,000 scattered, 7,500 overcast, 9,000 overcast.
Tree 907, have a good day.
That's going to deteriorate throughout the day, and you can see on the NEXRAD all this rain. It's the issue with this trip. The issue is the icing, getting in and out of this. I'm expecting we'll pick up some icing. Got an amendment to our routing, and of having to go all the way to
9 Delta Alpha, fly your present heading for climbing traffic.
Okay, present heading 9 Delta Alpha. Before we had to go all the way out to Roanoke and then over. Now they cut that off and put us on an arrival into Raleigh through Gordonsville, which is much better. So that saves, that's going to save about 20 minutes right there. No, you can't hear me. I have you muted because I had... Want to talk? Hold on. We got to turn the music off for you to say something. Okay, now you can talk.
I can hear you. I couldn't hear a word you said.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking to the 1,000 subscribers we have at this point. We do.
Who's this?
We're talking to what's a room with 1,000 people?
Center 133.
It's a room. Patchogue. Okay, so you're in front of the Patchogue Theater right now. You could give your shirt spiel if you want.
Oh my God. I got Eaglemania t-shirts.
That's right. All right, well, we are on the South Boston arrival. We've been given a crossing restriction at Aldan at 8,000 feet. So you're asking about icing. I think start worrying about that a little lower.
Level 270.
Minus 12, but we're not really picking up anything.
American 622, stay heading.
Most of the icing that I saw forecast is between like 13 and 9,000.
I'm sorry, you had a question?
8,000 and 13,000 feet. We're gonna get there in a little bit. Oh.
November 902, 9er Delta Alpha, contact Raleigh approach 128.3.
128.3, 9 Delta Alpha, so long. Raleigh approach, good morning, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is 11,000 descending to cross Aldan at 8,000 Charlie.
November 929er Delta Alpha, Raleigh approach, Raleigh altimeter 3010, expect runway 23 left.
Okay, 301023 left, 9 Delta Alpha.
November 9er Delta Alpha, just after Aldan there is light precipitation and it extends all the way to the field from that angle, just to the east is clear and final is cleared.
Okay, thank you, 9 Delta Alpha. Now we're picking up some ice.
A little bit.
November 9 Delta Alpha, proceed direct DOCAT.
Direct DOCAT, 9 Delta Alpha. We're direct DOCAT. We're currently at 8,000, expect to be at DOCAT at 4,000. And then it'll be down to 1,800 cross Apuku, and then the bottom is at 806. And the mist is a climb to 1,100, left turn to 2,600 on a 050 heading to intercept the 92 radial off of Raleigh Durham to Seattle.
Number 9 Delta Alpha, continue that right turn heading 190.
190, 9 Delta Alpha.
Meridian 9 Delta Alpha, the airport's 1 o'clock, 10 miles.
Insight, 9 Delta Alpha.
9 Delta Alpha, clear visual approach, runway 23 left.
Visual 23 left, 9 Delta Alpha. All right, locals alive.
American 2920, turn right heading 190, descend to maintain 3,000. Number 9 Delta Alpha, connect tower on 127.45, we'll see you now.
2745, 9 Delta Alpha, so long. Raleigh Tower, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is with you, visual 23 left.
November 902, 9er Delta Alpha, Raleigh Tower, runway 23 left, cleared to land, wind 240 report of a loss of 10 knots on final by an Embraer.
Okay, clear to land 23 left, thanks for the report, 9 Delta Alpha. Hey, manual, lights, hot. Ups 2, 3 green, 0.
Minimums.
Southwest 1601, runway 23 left, line up and wait, jet traffic on a 14 mile final.
Line up 123 left, Southwest 1601.
While they fueled the airplane, I went ahead and updated myself on the weather. I knew what was going on at Raleigh, and it bears mentioning that it had deviated pretty significantly from the morning forecast towards lower ceilings and precip. Tampa exec was still good VFR with gusty winds and forecast to stay that way. The icing forecast hadn't changed much either, calling for some moderate icing in the mid-teens during my climb out. What did catch my eye was a citation which reported some icing during the climb in the mid-20s over southern Georgia. Again, something just to be aware of.
We have PDC. I don't have to call for clearance, which is great. I can just program all this stuff ahead of time and not sit here burning gas. Okay, we have 170 degrees here. I'm gonna motor it down to 140. Now add the gas.
Cat 5892, Raleigh ground, contact tower, 2745.
Order tower.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
The engine in this thing is awesome.
Yeah.
Ground Trailblazer 496 at signature, ready to taxi.
Okay.
9 Delta Alpha, climb maintain 3000, turn left heading 180, runway 23 left, clear for takeoff.
3180, clear for takeoff, 23 left, 9 Delta Alpha.
1 Juliet Delta, continue down the runway, turn
I got 60.
JetBlue 2625, turn left heading on 210, runway 23 right, clear for takeoff.
Heading 210, clear for takeoff, 23 right, JetBlue 2625.
Nine Delta Alpha, connect departure, good flight.
Departure 9 Delta Alpha is on. Raleigh departure, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is 2,400, climbing 3,180.
February 929 Delta Alpha, Raleigh departure, radar contact, climb maintain 4,000.
4,009 Delta Alpha.
They've given me a heading to join the departure procedure. Just based on that heading, I know that it's going to be here, so I've activated that leg, told the GPS to expect to fly that leg, and I've armed it while we're in heading mode. So as soon as it gets close, it'll start turning, and I'll capture that.
Washington Center, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, 8,100, climbing 11,000, 220 to intercept the departure 9 Delta Alpha.
Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, Washington Center, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Flight level 230, 9 Delta Alpha.
You got it with ice. You got to increase the climb speed so that less of the undersurface of the wing is being exposed. So we're going to climb instead of at 125 knots, we're going to climb at 135 knots.
And November 8, Charlie Delta, there was a report of light icing at your 12 o'clock in about 40 miles, 5,000.
We're at 26,000 feet. I filed for 28,000, but for traffic reasons, they gave us 26, and I think that's because rides above 30,000 are very bumpy, so everybody wants lower. Then when we get down here, like near Savannah, it should clear up some. And right now, our flight plan, I filed direct, and they basically gave it to me, but that has us there in an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh.
2:42 arrival. Bad.
Beautiful.
All right, so we just got a reroute, and whereas we were pretty much direct before, now they've put us on the date 6 arrival. That's not bad. I think it probably adds about 15-20 minutes. And,
The 526 contact Jack Center.
it's been a bumpy ride the whole way down. It'll be interesting to see what the guys had, what it was like for them.
Was it bumpy?
A little
Bumpy
bit.
ride?
Oh,
We had a bumpy ride.
South Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a bumpy ride over South
I was
Carolina.
thinking about you guys.
Yeah.
Because we were way up. We were like 38,000 feet and
Yeah.
still.
They were
2642, 99.
Oh, and it gets bumpy like this, and I keep having to slow down.
Jack Center, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, flight level 260, direct JJOT.
Number 929 Delta Alpha, Jack Center, roger. 0 Alpha Echo, to the maintain level 390.
Tampa approach, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, 11,000 with the weather and NOTAMs at executive request the RNAV 23.
Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, Tampa, Roger. You want the RNAV to runway 23?
Affirmative, 9 Delta Alpha.
Number 929 Delta Alpha, you can expect that. Continue descent then to maintain 3,000.
3,000, 9 Delta Alpha. 4 heavy.
Number 929 Delta Alpha, reduce the slowest practical airspeed.
Okay, we'll pull it back, 9 Delta Alpha.
Number 929 Delta Alpha, turn right, heading of 200 and join the final approach course.
200 to join 9 Delta Alpha.
9 Delta Alpha, traffic alert, about 12 o'clock and a mile turning to the east at 1,900. Do you have in sight?
Negative contact, 9 Delta Alpha.
9 Delta Alpha, turn right, heading 250. I'll turn back once he's passed.
250, 9 Delta Alpha.
Fire
Traffic,
1 3 heavy
11
at
o'clock,
1,600
same altitude,
feet, final
1
approach
mile.
speed. Number 929 Delta Alpha, traffic no factor, fly heading of 200 and join the final approach course inbound. You're about 4 from Urkey, maintain 1,800 till establish. You're cleared for the RNAV, runway 23 approach.
200 to join, clear for the approach, 9 Delta Alpha.
Or 9 Delta Alpha, please change advisor approved. Don't forget to cancel IFR.
Okay, we'll cancel with you now over to advisories, 9 Delta Alpha.
9 Delta Alpha, IFR cancellation received. Then score 24 seconds left. Please change approved.
Frequency change VFR, 9 Delta Alpha.
Okay, manual lights. Apps 3 green, 0.
Tampa exact traffic, Meridian is on a 4 mile straight in for 23 at Tampa exact.
Minimums.
This was Eaglemania's second time to Busch Gardens in Tampa. It is the most unusual schedule of any show that we do on our regular roster, and to be honest, its looks can be deceiving. The layout of the week was 2 shows per day, each 45 minutes long, one at 11:30 and the other at 1:30 in the afternoon, each day from Tuesday to Sunday, with an added 1-hour outdoor show on Friday evening.
All right, so it's the first show of a planned, I think 13 or 14 show run at Busch Gardens. This is the kind of stuff that hardens a band into a really working unit. Because not only do we have to bring our A game, but the people around us, the crew has to interface with the crew here. I mean, this is one of those shows that you get a knock on the door and you have a 5-minute window that you have to be on.
It's 11:15 in the morning. We have to sing full voice in 15 minutes. There are 1,200 people sitting in the audience with bated breath, waiting for us to crack.
And it's great. So, you know, a little bit of butterflies going on. By Thursday, Friday, it'll be like old hat, and it'll really start to become fun.
The Stanleyville Theater, the large enclosed theater within the park, holds between 12 and maybe 1,400 people.
And by the time Thursday rolls around, you're sort of used to it, like your internal clock is flipped a little bit, but the Tuesday and Wednesday show are challenging.
And this is the first show.
This is the first show, yeah. Tuesday's the first one.
Most days it was full, but Florida was beset that week by temperatures in the 50s and some pretty foul weather. So midweek was a little light, and that also affected the turnout of our show on Friday night because it was so cold out.
We're in Florida, it's freezing.
Right. This is the coldest we've ever played.
Coldest show we've ever done, period, and we're in Florida.
Right.
It's a real kick in the ass.
This is the one night big show.
Yeah,
here.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 10,000 people. We're gonna have 10.
It was so cold that, ironically, it was the coldest ambient temperature that we as a band have ever played in.
And still those voices are calling from.
Well, it's packed. Look, it's mobbed. This is as many people are going to be here. It's great. Pack them out.
The staff at the park took amazing care of us, truly. Some of the nicest people we've ever worked with.
How you feeling?
I feel great.
We're halfway. This is the 50
yard
the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. You good?
Wonderful.
While these shows were spread out during the day, they were equally as exhausting as our regularly scheduled time slots, oddly enough. So it was weird to feel so spent at 3 in the afternoon, but we were able to make good use of the time, and more on that in a second.
You know when you go on a vacation when you were a kid, and you look forward to it, and there's such a build-up, like the days go by, and they just take forever to get there, and then you're on vacation, and it's like it's over. It's, you know, I can't believe this is halfway. It feels like, you know, on one hand it feels like we've been here forever, but on the other hand it feels like we've been here for 20 minutes.
On Thursday of that week, I was able to arrange for an extraordinary flying experience, but it meant I had to be an hour and a half away in Kissimmee at 6 a.m.
So that's going to be the key to today, timing-wise, but I have a feeling that this is going to be a really incredible experience.
Thank you. This was an opportunity to log some time in one of the most iconic airplanes ever built. My instructor for the day was John Posson, and his experience in the Mustang speaks for itself.
How long have you been instructing in the P-51?
14 years.
Wow.
Yep, 1,743 hours, but who's counting? It just drips cool.
Right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful airplane, and it's not just a pretty face. It flies as well as it looks.
Right.
Tower, Mustang 4, short of 33, ready anytime.
Mustang 4, Scimitar, left turnout, runway 33, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 33 to the left turnout, Mustang 4. Y'all set, John?
All set.
You realize you're in a P-51, right?
I'm pinching myself.
Okay, tail wheels in the steering. One more power check. Gonna go to 2300.
The Mustang is actually, this is a 1944 airplane, but by the time the P-51 was designed, the engineers pretty much knew the subsonic world.
Right.
And if you go back 10 years before the Mustang, the airfoils were a little funny, the stall characteristics of the airplanes weren't all that good, the ground handling wasn't all that good, they weren't all that comfortable, the ergonomics were not fully investigated.
Right.
Okay, give me about a 180-degree turn left, a kind of a fairly steep turn, just to get the feel for it. Clear left.
But by the time they built the Mustang and the Bearcat, some of the later airplanes, they had comfortable, good flying, fairly easy to fly airplanes.
Right.
Then do another one to the right.
And it is an easy to fly airplane, but like any high-speed airplane, it could bite you.
After a 1-hour brief about the airplane and the elements of the flight, it was an hour of intense recurrent aerobatic training. I've done a fair bit of aerobatics earlier in my flying career, and I do some occasional aerobatics in my RV-8, but this was like nothing I've ever flown before.
As you get into G,
yeah,
above 1G, and we're working on accelerated stalls, the space between onset of buffet and the actual stall of the wing narrows.
The Mustang is as graceful and perfect in the air as it looks on the ground.
Now you're getting the idea. Very nice, John. Very nice. Get it over the top. Get it over the top.
It's heavy. All the airplanes I've ever done aerobatics in have been a fraction of the weight of the Mustang, so it was a bit of an adjustment to not fly it with the same crisp, hard-edged control movements that are how I fly an 1,800-pound RV or a decathlon. This involved much more grace and adjustment to how much momentum the airplane carried with it.
Lighten up! This isn't rock and roll, this is ballet!
Like all new experiences in aviation, this was an incredible learning opportunity.
Turned around. There you go. Very nice. Forward. You feel the buffet? Okay,
I could feel the thing starting to buffet, and I could actually feel it because I've been there before. Right. And you were going, "Oh, I'm going to get the buffet." Well, for you, the buffet was when it stalled.
Right, and that was something I needed to get used to.
Yeah, but that again, just do it a few times and you get the hang of it.
You will try one more, then we'll go on to something else. Okay, up you go. I like your pulls. Your pulls are getting nice and smooth. Now let's get it over the top. Keep pulling. As it slows down, you can pull more because you won't generate as much heat. Come on, get it over the top. Now you look for that 45 and stop it. And roll it. There you go. And you're right on heading because you kept your wing square. Okay, let's go back to a climb. Little power back. Power all the way off. Doing great. Doing great. Sweet.
Cessna 5529, runway 33, cleared to stop and go. Close traffic on the go.
But where that is useful is, if you're intimately familiar with the buffet, you're not going to do it unintentionally.
Right.
And when you're up doing aerobatics, you're not going to depart the airplane without intending to. And most important, when you're close to the ground in the landing pattern, if the buffet starts rearing its ugly head, you're going to be very familiar with it, and you're not going to let it go further than the buffet toward a stall. And that's the idea, is to keep you safe in the landing pattern. As we know, in any high-performance airplane, any jet, any airliner, any fighter plane, training is the key to safety.
Sure. Thank you to everyone at Stallion 51 Aviation in Kissimmee for accommodating me for this incredibly unique experience. I'll include a link to them in the show notes. If you're ever in Orlando or Kissimmee, definitely worth the experience. It was hard to get out and do a lot in the afternoon because we were so spent, but here's another highlight. Oddly enough, Tampa is home to one of the biggest collections of Salvatore Dali's work at their very own Dali Museum, which made for a very pleasant midweek afternoon diversion.
Well, I think I was maybe born in the wrong period.
All you had to do is just change your mustache a little bit.
20 meters, so that's...
As far as surrealism goes, Dali's work to me is very accessible and very entertaining, and I highly recommend this to anyone visiting the Tampa-St. Pete area. It's well worth the stop, and it happens to be right next to Whitted Airport. You could probably easily walk from the airport to the museum. I'll include a link in the show notes.
At the end of it, you're on such a high. I just know that Monday I'm going to be a disaster. Because I'll have absolutely nothing to do, but...
That Sunday, in between shows, I started planning and briefing the afternoon flight back to New Jersey. I knew that I was going to have very little as far as tailwinds for my general easterly direction, so I didn't bother attempting to fly it in one leg. Looking at Jet Fuel X this time, I opted for Charleston, which had cheap fuel as my stop for the return. When I briefed it at noon, Tampa, Charleston, and Caldwell were all VFR, and the forecast at all three locations, in fact, for the entire eastern seaboard along my route, was forecast to stay VFR throughout the day. This was all due to a large high-pressure area centered over the Carolinas. The only downside was that it meant that I wouldn't have a strong tailwind, which might have allowed me to make it back without a stop. The icing forecast and the turbulence forecast were each about as good as one could hope for. And finally, there were no PIREPs to speak of. Some low-level wind shear reports well north of my destination, which should become no factor as the winds died down over the course of the afternoon and evening.
99 Delta Alpha is cleared to Charleston via entering airspace at heading at 090 2000 270 10 119 or 0.93546 9 Delta Alpha.
Number 9 Delta Alpha, the readback is correct. Let me know when you're ready. Number 1 for departure at runway 23.
Okay, I will let you know when we're number 1 at 239 Delta Alpha. Actually, they're just changing the runway around, so it'll be runway 5.
Okay, so the only amendment, let's just go runway heading and the rest of the clearance remains the same.
Okay, runway heading 9 Delta Alpha. I'll let you know when we're number 1.
Hey, watching the NG come up, watching the ITT.
Criminal 2169 Delta.
Connections 446, turn left heading 100 on approach course.
100 into the final, and we need to climb out to 446.
Connections 446, no problem. After completion,
it's cool start.
360, climb maintain 2000, return this frequency.
360, 2000 back to you, connect 446.
Affirmative 5500, 65 Pop Alpha. Roger.
The GoPros miscued the takeoff, so you don't have that, but you get the point.
Number 9 Delta Alpha, you can contact approach on 135.5 and have a good day.
35.5, 9 Delta Alpha, thanks for your help.
Anytime.
3455, here's your Papa.
Tampa, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, 3000, climbing 4000, 050.
Alaska 9461, descend to maintain 10,000.
Descend to maintain 10,000, Alaska 9461.
929 Delta Alpha, Tampa, roger, climb and maintain 6,000.
6,000, 9 Delta Alpha.
29 Delta Alpha, Jack Center Roger, climb maintain flight level 240.
Flight level 240, 9 Delta Alpha.
Alpha, you cleared to Charleston via direct spring. Sierra, Papa, Romeo, November, Golf. Then Camjo, Charlie Alpha, Mike, Juliet, Oscar, direct Charleston.
929 Delta Alpha is cleared to Charleston via Sprung, Camjo, direct 9 Delta Alpha.
Most of the departures out of Florida take you this way to the west of the coast. I think because they have a lot of traffic coming to Miami on that side.
Center 9 Delta Alpha, any chance for higher can status and build up straight ahead?
Under 9 Delta Alpha, climb maintain, follow 260.
260, 9 Delta Alpha. Jack Center, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is flight level 260, direct sprung.
Center 929 Delta Alpha, Jacksonville Center, roger.
So we were able to climb above these little buildups here. And just looking at the winds, especially given this routing, we have a 75 knot headwind, which means there was no way we could do this direct from Tampa straight back to Caldwell.
Jacksonville Center, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, flight level 270, continuous light.
Air 929 Delta Alpha, Jack Center, riser, good ahead.
We're at flight level 270, and we've just been given the Baggy 2 arrival.
Frontier 2425, Jack Center, roger.
Charleston. The
Damage at 84,
Baggy intersection
850, descend maintain flight 240.
240, damage at puts us on the ground in about 45 minutes or so.
Jack Center, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, flight level 245, descending flight level 240, direct Baggy.
November 929 Delta Alpha, Jack Center, welcome, descend and maintain flight level 210.
Flight level 210, 9 Delta Alpha.
So we're told to cross Baggy at 1000, so she descended us to flight level 210, so we're going to stay here until we reach the top of descent, which will be 3 minutes and 52 seconds. So I have that configured to cross Baggy at 11,000. And so now that we've leveled off, I can dial that into our altitude pre-select. And once we start down, I'll adjust the altimeter to 3028, which is the altimeter at Charleston. With the VNAV, we now have the VNAV caret, which is now just about to intercept the horizon line, and now the autopilot will follow that down so that we cross Baggy at 1000.
9 Delta Alpha, turn right heading of 070.
070, 9 Delta Alpha.
On course, MESC, Minivan, full flight to my tank.
This is where the big Boeing factory is.
9 Delta Alpha, to maintain 1,600 Port Charleston site.
1,600 field in sight, 9 Delta Alpha.
Alpha clear approach 15 tower 126.0.
Okay, visual 15 over to tower 9 Delta Alpha, so long.
Yep.
Charleston Tower, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is visual 15.
Clear 929 Delta Alpha, Charleston Tower, runway 15, clear to land.
Clear to land 15, 9 Delta Alpha.
Okay, let's get another 10. Alright, manual, lights, hots. We have 20 degrees of flaps, 3 green.
402. 60402, Charleston Tower. Runway 21, line up and wait, traffic landing runway 15.
Minimums.
Line up and wait on 21. We'll look for traffic 60402.
Finished our show. Finished our show.
2:15.
And we're on a plane by like
3:15.
3:15, yeah. And then we left Tampa and now we're in Charleston.
Right, getting gas.
It's a little colder now, so I threw on my jacket, getting gas, and we're gonna head home after this.
Yeah.
Where it's gonna be a lot colder.
Right.
So yeah.
And we're tired.
And we're pooped. So tired.
It's a good run.
It's a great week, a lot of fun. But now I need some sleep.
Okay, 99 Delta Alpha is clear to Caldwell as filed, 4,000, 270 at 10, 119.3, 1606, 9 Delta Alpha.
9 Delta Alpha, read back right.
Number 9 Delta Alpha, fly runway heading, runway 21, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading, clear for takeoff, 9 Delta Alpha.
Stanza 77 Lima Mike Charleston Tower, hold short runway 21. November 9 Delta Alpha, turn left heading 100.
100, 9 Delta Alpha.
Delta 2512, turn right on Alpha, then contact ground point 9.
Right Alpha, ground point 9, Delta 2512.
Number 9 Delta Alpha, contact departure, have a good flight.
Departure 9 Delta Alpha, so long. Charleston departure, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, 1,700 climbing, 4,000, 10 sign.
Number 929 Delta Alpha, Charleston departure, radar contact. Lever Codwell, 5 maintaining 10,000.
Okay, can you repeat the fix, because they cleared us as filed, which was direct.
9 Delta Alpha, I guess I got the wrong airport. You're not going to Caldwell. Consider Charlie Delta Whiskey.
Yeah, you had it right. I just missed it. Actually, we pronounced it Caldwell, but that's fine. Direct Caldwell, 9 Delta Alpha, thank you.
9 Delta Alpha, climb maintain 10,000.
10,000, direct Caldwell, 9 Delta Alpha.
Yeah, that's what I get for growing up on Long Island.
So we're at flight level 270. Just finished our climb. I filed direct, and they gave me direct, but I know better because whenever I go to Caldwell from this direction, I end up getting routed to the east of DC airspace on the Basie 2 arrival, which picks up at Patuxent, which is right around there. And so I'm expecting to get a routing somewhere around Richmond to put us on that arrival. And once they do that, they'll start descending us, which will lower our airspeed. So right now it's showing an hour and 40 minutes to our. But the reality is that it'll be longer than that because they'll have us descend and then our airspeed will go down. So that's the deal. Washington Center, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, flight level 210 and smooth ride.
Meridian 929 Delta Alpha 1, is that okay to have name?
Well, we've been descended down to 21,000. We're still direct Patuxent for the Basie 2 arrival.
Don't approach Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is 15,300, descending to cross Louis at 13,000.
November 9 Delta Alpha, I apologize. Direct to Busby. After Louis, direct to Busby and resume the Maisie arrival.
Okay, after Louis, direct Buzzy, 9 Delta Alpha.
And not long after that, we were handed off to New York.
Start slowing down.
3,000, telling flight 827.
It's going to be a really tight turn.
5,000.
Okay, sir, 5,000, East Coast Jet 7.
To make that turn, it's his
9
problem.
Delta Alpha, turn right to 120.
120, 9 Delta Alpha.
The next turn is going to be 190. Looks alive.
9 Delta Alpha, turn right 190, join the final.
190 to join 9 Delta Alpha.
Rock band 927, heading 090.
It's bothering me, rock band. What is that?
I don't know. 9 Delta Alpha, maintain 2,000 until you're established on the final, clear for the RNAV 22.
2,000 to establish, clear for the RNAV 22, 9 Delta Alpha.
Nine Delta Alpha, contact Caldwell Tower 19.8.
Over to Tower 9 Delta Alpha, so long.
Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, Caldwell Tower, Caldwell altimeter 3016. Wind calm, runway 22, clear to land.
16, clear to land, 22, 9 Delta Alpha.
Glide paths capturing. Coming down. Alright, good. Manual. Pitot lights. We've got one more notch of flaps to go. Free green, 0. Okay, off the autopilot.
500. Minimums.
Free green.
Here's what's next on Life in the Fast Lane. An interesting day of flying and a night flight to southern Vermont for some shows, but will the show go on?
How many times?
Our greatest
7.
fans and a solid IFR ride back home. It's another episode of Life in the Fast Lane.